Should be all set to go. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, so we still got a little rush hour traffic. So anyway, we had a nice visit with a friend last night that I met after dinner at the Cardinale Italian restaurant, another salesman for farmer products in Guatemala. They own their own factory. So he popped in when I was having dinner, he and a doctor friend, and I shared a beer with him. And then we went to Pasaje Enriquez, where I gave you the tour, and I just had one drink there with them and then took off. Well, I knew I had this trip this morning, so I didn't want to make a night of it. So this is the road that's leading out and going to the Pan American Highway. Now, the Pan American Highway is the highway that goes supposedly all the way from Canada. Oh, now this is a nice road. So maybe this was the part. They said that he did one road the whole 4 years he was in term as mayor. So this is probably this, because this looks like it's a recently paved highway right here. It's a little bit foggy this morning, but they're predicting rain this afternoon, so this is the rainy season in Guatemala, so normally I, want to get home before it rains. If it does rain, though, you just get wet. Yeah, definitely this is a new road. So I'm going to try to get over here on the smooth side. Alright, so we're going to get some rough parts here where they're doing the road. Basically they scrape it. You can see they have a machine that comes in, probably do it at night, and scrapes it so they can apply the new asphalt. So it's just a little part here. So as I said, Quetzaltenango is in a little valley, and all around are these mountains. The big Santa Maria, which I showed you the other day, is the big one, and behind that is Santiaguito, and that's really an offshoot of Santa Maria that during an earthquake it just kind of fell off, and it's active. You can't see it from Quetzaltenango. You can see sometimes when it's an active volcano, so there are times when you can see it. And I walked fairly close up to that. That was an interesting experience. Rain like the devil. So it's a little bit hazy out for looking at mountains today. So this is typical June weather in Guatemala. Kind of hazy, then sometimes the sun comes out, then it'll rain. Normally an afternoon shower of half an hour, 45 minutes, just like yesterday. It rained in the afternoon. and then it's it just kind of looks like it's going to rain all the time, though, when it's this type of year. So there is something going on here, but they need a lot. Just about all the roads in Quetzaltenango have holes in them. Potholes, some of them bigger than the others, so on a motorcycle you'd really have to take it easy, even on the highways, because you just don't know when you come up to one of those holes. Have to give a lot of lead space on the car in front, so if he goes over a hole you have time to see it, because your center of drive is going to be right in the middle of where he can go over a hole, so you know, you want to have time to be able to get out of the way of it. So this should be a nice drive today, probably about 4 hours. I'm not going to go fast because just out on the highway it's just not worth it. Like I said, sometimes you find, we're up in the mountains, sometimes you'll go around a corner and find gravel or little rocks or something like that, so you don't want to take that chance of sliding. So it's just not worth it to go fast. So I've really got the whole day to do about a 80-mile trip. So I'm going to take it easy, maybe stop, get a coffee someplace, probably go to the gas station at some point, check the tires, get a little bit of gas maybe. There we go, use that big truck as a shield. Yeah, I've got half a tank of gas, but I'm probably going to get some anyway because I had to get some when I left Lake Atitlan. Oops, let me go left. And it was a no-name gas station. So in other words, it wasn't Shell or Exxon or one of the known gas stations here. I'm going to stop off here. So I'll continue this a little bit later. But I just I wanted to get some gas that I knew. Alrighty. Now, this is the way we came out of on Monday to go to Quetzaltenango. So, the lake is off here to the right, down through Sololá. It's another half an hour drive for 45 minutes if you didn't have any traffic to get back to Lake Atitlan, but we're going to skirt it, go through a little place called Los Encuentros, okay, which is kind of a wide place in the road where there's a lot of businesses and things like that, and they sell food out on the side of the road, and there's a gas station. But if you can also go to the right to get down to the lake from there, and then to go to the left as we're driving now, you'd go to Chimaltenango. I'm sorry, Chichicastenango. Quetzaltenango is a indigenous town also, where they have a lot of crafts, weaving and things like that. I'll have to take a trip up there and give a tour of Quetzaltenango. It's about an hour drive off to the left, but it's, this is all the indigenous, the descendants of the Mayans. And I said they developed various tongues, languages, which are quite different from Spanish. So there's a lot of variety in Guatemala, just ethnically, culturally. Boy, doesn't that fruit look good? Wow. That's where if you were driving a car in this situation, you could stop off and buy some of those melons and papayas and pineapples too. There are not too many pineapples. The pineapple area is on the other side of Guatemala City. Okay, we're coming up to the little town Los Encuentros. Oops, gotta go slow through here. So you can get a hot chocolate over in one of those little stalls, or yeah, go slow through here. I've been coming through here sometimes, and it's super, because this is really high. I don't know what the altitude is here, but we're pretty high up, and you seem to get a lot of fog in here, even midday. And man, you have to really take it slow, especially around these corners when you get this fog. Look at all the typical goods over here. And the fog is really thick. You've got some more curvy road coming up. Boy, this is really curvy in through here. And I've seen places where the road is just covered with dirt, from little landfalls after the rains wash out some of these mountains. People come through these mountains here and get dirt for building houses or whatever, and of course it erodes and it falls down on the road when it rains. So curva peligrosa, I bet. All right.
Thank you for accompanying me on this trip on the Pan American Highway. Really had a nice day. The sun was out, wasn't too foggy. Got a couple of views, but it's the rainy season, so it's kind of hazy a lot. But it was a safe trip, wasn't too much traffic. Thank you again. Hope you enjoyed it.